So we also have to use in a day-to-day life, because the life is so fast, the teaching learning process is so fast. So we cannot now rely only on the physical books and library. Even the library are now going to be, in a soft mode, which consists of various resources through which we can find out ebooks, ebesco, then various platforms where we can have the soft copies, or even many online resources that we have to access through the various software and the licensing process, right? So in a nutshell, the basic fundamental and basic crux of this today's discussion point is how to utilize this kind of tools and technology so that the teaching learning process can be sharpened. And the most important part is the student should be at most beneficial in terms of the content that we have to deliver, irrespective of in the field in which you are, whether you are from technological background, whether you are from management background, whether you are from pharmaceutical background, right? In all the areas, the content should be available in fingertips. And at the same time, how to go get those content with the effective and efficient utilization of this ICT tools and technologies, and how to make our teaching learning process uninterrupted, smooth, easy, accessible as and when it is required. This is what the roles and utilization of the ICT tool, right? So that is where ICT plays a significant role, to provide this kind of services for both the as part, that is from the teacher's point of view, and at the same time, when the students are at the recipient side, they also have the access of this kind of tool, right? So there are various tools that we are day to day using it, but apart from those tools, how we can make it ourselves to be on a more advanced level. So that is the crux and the basic fundamental for this today's session. So with this note, I'll just start my presentation. So we first need to understand the higher educational goal, right? What is the actual goal of higher education? So it has been divided into two parts. So firstly, we have to start with the primary goals, if I need to talk about. So primary goal means you have to think about the employability of the students, right? So basically, when we are running education institute, whether it is a university or the private campus, the employability is one of the important aspect, and when I'm saying the employability means the student should be at the utmost level where they can beat each and every institute as and when they have to fight from the campus placements, right? So they should be more advanced, more up to date, in terms of the requirement of the institute and the corporates, so that they should be easily placed as and when the campus placement drive should be arised. So that is where the employability part is very, very important. And this nothing but the student should be more advanced and more enhanced, right? So that, the employability can be achieved. Then increase earning potential, right? So only employability is not going to work out when we are thinking about, the overall development of the students. So we must also need to ensure that as and when they are going in the future, as and when we are delivering the products in terms of the effective employees, in terms of our own students, so we have to develop in a 360-degree manner. In a sense, we should not teach them, or we should not show them that, you should have some fears to adopt some new technologies. If at all you have not utilized for, for the even in your life tenure, but if any modification or any upliftment is coming as far as the utilization of ICT tools and technologies, and most importantly, these tools are directly connected with your employment part. So you should not hesitate to learn it, right? Because if you learn it, there would be an opportunity, right? So we have to think in a reverse manner. So days are gone where people were hesitating. Nowadays, no, I think hardly people are getting hesitate to learn new things, new technology, new, skills, right? So when you learn new things, there is an employability, there is an opportunity for the employment. So that is where we must have to think that, students should be developed in such a way that only campus placement is not our aim, but at the same time, our aim is as and when they are going for shifting, or if at all they are continuing with the same organization, they should be at the top level. That means they should stand out to be the best out of all the crowd, right? So that is where the advanced knowledge, skills, and ICT tools plays an important role. Advanced knowledge, right? So advanced knowledge, as I said, that you should be keep updated yourself in a field or area in which you are, right? Either through your own reading or with the utilization of ICT tools, right? So everybody has, one thing we are always saying to our own students also, that everybody has the resources, everybody has the common platform to learn, because, and we being a faculty, we know it, everyone has a common platform, everyone has a common resources, but the results are not common as far as the student's point of view is concerned, because the ultimate matter over here is how the students are going to utilize those tools, how they are going to absorb those tools, and how effectively they are going to implement those tools in a day-to-day life. So that is where it is going to be matters. And that is where, the advanced knowledge means how you can stand out to be the best out of all, in terms of, to make your work fast, effective, and efficient. And this can be possible when our students are completely have the, complete advanced knowledge of their subject area and the domain in which they have to work, right? So that is where advanced knowledge is one other, goal of the higher education system. Wisdom, right? So students should have the multiple options, students should have multiple things. It should not be like that the days are gone that, if I'm from management side, so we should not restrict our students to be only on management side, but we also have to motivate them, to adopt certain, multidisciplinary knowledge, right? So that, if at all students are going for the startup, and they are going to establish their own business, so everything they have to manage by their own, right? So if this kind of knowledge has been given to our students, so sometimes what happens is we have given complete knowledge of our own subjects, but if the students has not been groomed with the other interdisciplinary or multidisciplinary subjects, so I think we are restricting their goals, we are restricting their, growth, rather I can say, and somehow they are lacking in terms of, the success that they have to receive in their life. So that is where wisdom needs to be there. Multiple approach needs to provide, right? Interdisciplinary approach in terms of subjects and teaching, learning should be provided, so that, management students should not be restricted to only management theory, but they should also have the exposures of technology. And technological students should also have some exposures of management, right? So this is called interdisciplinary approach. And that is where wisdom will come, when you have multiple choice and multiple access to the subjects. And research and experimentation, obviously very, very important part, as far as the higher education goal is concerned, that we should always teach and, try to deliver our sessions with, some research and experimentations. The reason why I'm saying this, because data always speaks. If you have some facts and figures, if you have something to deliver in terms of numbers, so students are always going to be attract, in terms of, students are always have some interest in knowing the facts and figures, and that proves, that justify the topic or content that you are trying to deliver, right? So that is where the research and experimentation needs to be seen. And this is the ultimate primary goals of higher education institute. If it talks about the secondary goals of the higher education institute, so this is the spiritual growth. We should develop students to adopt some spirituality, motivation, right? They should always be spiritual, they should always be motivated to learn new things, to accept the challenges and try to overcome from all this aspect, and try to find out the new ways, to reach at the success. Mental growth, right? If we motivate, if we try to hamper the students, we'll try to create some uncomfortable zone for them, and we are trying to force them to think, to have a critical thinking power, to adopt some changes in terms of, the modification and upliftment which is prevailing in the ICT tools. So students have been forced to adopt it, and that's where they will have the mental pressure to adopt it, and that is where the mental growth can be possible. Engaging in question answers. So only one way traffic in terms of delivering the session in the classroom is not going to work out, right? For which we also have to adopt some, tools and technology. Let's say if I'm delivering one session, in between, sometimes you might have excess of Coursera, that is the MOOC courses, right? So if you adopt the Coursera courses, and, if you want to crack this Coursera courses, you have to see the videos, and between the videos, there are certain questions which have been thrown by the experts, and that you have to answer, right? So this is how you are forcing, either you create an interest, or either you forced your participants to be active during the classes, right? So the mode of activeness, the mode of forcing activeness could be different, but let's ensure that students should involve themselves in complete discussion which is going on through the question answer, right? So that's why we have to engage them in the question answer, right? and facilitating better lifestyle. If we adopt all this aspect in terms of primary and secondary goal, students should be able to achieve the better lifestyle, with the complete utilization of the ICT tools as and when they have to utilize. And developing scientific outlooks, obviously, as and when any modification changes or any scenario which is coming out in the life, we always have to develop the scientific outlook, the scientific way out, to see those parameters and to take the decisions and judgment about this particular aspect, right? So that is where it is a secondary goal. So what is the new dimension of higher education, right? So firstly, the education has not been restricted up to the classroom teaching learning process, but it has, overcome with those boundaries. And now the education is very open, right? The sky is the limit. Students should adopt any open access software or any courses in which they want to go for. They can enroll and they can have the access of those kind of tools, right? So that is where for every education institute, branding, openness, and academic quality, these are the three important parameters, which is going to very, very important for all of them as far as to promote their brand in terms of the admission process. And at the same time, once they have been promoted with the admission process and whatever commitment they have given to their stakeholders in terms of the parents and students. So after taking admission, it is the time for the academic institute to deliver those promises through the quality education, and this quality education can be possible with the integral access of ICT tools and techniques in the education system, right? So that is where the reputation of academic institutions can be tackled, and this is the two there are two major components where we talks about the reputation of academic institute and brands. That is the openness in terms of education, right? Because education is a part of sharing knowledge is always going to work out. If the knowledge has not been shared, it is not going to be utilized, right? So that is where it should be shared, open access. And if we are saying that it is an open access, right? So there are various open access tools, right? So one of the tools we are very much well versed about it, that is open source and massive open online courses, that is MOOC courses, and open education resources in terms of, as I already mentioned, the resources which is available on Google, the resources which is available on the library, right? So these are the open access resources. As and when you require, you can access, right? So through which we can have this kind of education, and at the same time, the promising delivery that we are looking for in the education era. So three dimension of ICT tools, if we have discussed about this. So if you have to bring the ICT tools, so students should develop the creativity. Creativity in a sense, you always have to think in a different perspective, different mode of thinking. You should not have monotonous outlook for, having to see all the aspect in a common ground, right? But you also have to think out of the box. And this thinking, this critical thinking will leads to the creativity. And obviously, market has the better value for all those people who have creativity, right? Because if you provide something new to the market are ready to pay. Sometimes you can have your brands, you can have your franchisee through which you can have the ample amount of money in your life. So that is where, majorly all the works in the market which is going on right now is through the ICT tools, through the online platform. Hardly we are visiting any places for any sort of work, right? So the life is going to be very smooth, but it's, at the same time, it is very fast. We can't say that it is very smooth, because if one thing is going on online platform, then everything is going to be on online platform. So everything we have to do it on online. So obviously the life is very fast, but life is very smooth and life is very fast also, right? So we have to work out. So if we are not learning those things, somehow we are missing the edge in our life, and that is where we cannot afford this kind of lost, or rather I can say uh, living the life beyond the generation, right? So this is not affordable for all of us. So that is where needs of adoption of ICT tool is very, very important, and that is where you can bring out the creativity in your personal and professional life. Competitiveness. So obviously we have to stay into the competition. So if you are looking for a job, if the colleague or your friends who, or who was be the part of your at the college life or school life, and if that particular colleague, there is one colleague who is always learning new things, although you were in the same area and same batch, at your college life, but one person is learning all the new inventions, technologies, which is, day by day upgrading in their own area. But there is a one person who is learning 50% of the upgradation, and he's happy with the 50% of the old age, the practices. So obviously the person who has learned those things in a proper way, who has adopted these things in a proper way, so he will grow fast. So one thing we have to understand, and we also make understand to our students also, if you are not adopting anything today which has been accepted by the society and market, so today, if not today, then tomorrow, or if not tomorrow, then day after tomorrow, you have to adopt. You can't ignore. If the society has started adopting, you can't ignore. It's just a matter of time that whether you are learning today or whether you are learning tomorrow. And in marketing, it has been said there is always first more advantage, right? So if you are learning today, the more you are learning fast, the more advantage you can get it from the market, because there is a first more advantage, right? Because once the things are getting old, the profitability is also going to be vanished, right? So if you learn fast, you will capture the market, you will establish yourself, and that is where you will, you will be able to settle yourself in this competition, right? So that is where ICT tools also brings the competitiveness, right? Because although we also need to understand, if we are learning today, then tomorrow 100 more people will learn, and day after tomorrow 1,000 more people will learn, right? But how we are taking those advantage in today, that is the biggest strength of ICT tools in terms of, ability enhancement, which is in the form of the revenue generation, right? So that is where competitiveness is always going to be the part of it. So if you want to stay in the competition, you have to upgrade yourself. And even from the student's perspective also, if you want to stay in the campus placement, campus drive, and you want to crack the good and, quality organizations for the placements, you also needs to prove yourself to be on qualitative. And this proven things can be possible with the advanced knowledge in terms of adoption of all the ICT tools, which makes our life so easy and fast also in terms of grabbing those knowledge. And third is collaboration. Without collaboration, we cannot grow. Even students and teachers can collaborate. Sometimes you're also seeing that students and teachers are also making collaboration for the research. Even institute and corporates can also make the collaboration to guide your students to be on the practical ground. And this can be possible even not visiting their own places, but to have some sessions of the person on the online mode, right? Or there would be some case where we should allow the students to have, the online observations of all those aspects, right? And this is possible when the organization and institute join their hands, in all the capacity of ICT utilization. So that is where the collaboration can be possible with the ICT tools. And if you adopt all this aspect, that could bring the harmony in the society. Means whosoever the target audience in terms of the students that we are dealing, they would be happy with the treatment and service that they have, we have delivered to them. And now they are enjoying the perks of all the efforts that we have put in the market. And if our students are getting placed in the good places, then the word of mouth publicity is going to be very, very good. And that is where we are bringing the better life for ourselves also and for the students' perspective. So now we are discussing about types of ICT tools. So YouTube is one of the platform where you can have all the videos of the subject area or the domain which we are looking for, and we have the practical demonstration of the process if at all we are not knowing it, and we can execute this by sitting at home. Wikipedia, although it is very outdated, but still, if you are looking for some historical backgrounds of any concept or things, Wikipedia is a great platform, to provide from the historical background to all the parameters that has been processed to bring this concept into execution part. So that is where you will have the theoretical aspects, theoretical things from the Wikipedia. Google Groups, there are many things, Google Groups nowadays. All the education institutes and universities are working on Google Group. There are a lot many parameters, if at all we are talking about Google Groups, like, if you want to make the students WhatsApp group, so what ideally we can do it, we can save the numbers, and then we can add it. Yes or no? This is the way, or else any other ways that you are knowing it? What should we do if the students are coming for the first time and we want to create, the Google group, or rather I can say WhatsApp group? So what should I do? Should I save the individual numbers? Yes. Or any other ways to make our work, very easy and finish this process in 5 minutes? You can make this Excel file of the students number. You can upgrade on the Google group, and you can directly attach this group. So your, all the contacts will be saved in your phone, right? And you can give the hypothetical name of that, particular context, A1, A2, A3. And the moment it get injected into your phone, you can easily create the WhatsApp group by simply clicking them and adding into WhatsApp group, right? So this is how the ICT tools makes our work very easy, right? So if at all you are not knowing it, right, so the layman person can go and save the numbers one by one, and then they will create a Google groups, a WhatsApp group, right? So this is how, if you know the technology, it makes your works easy and more effectively with less efforts, right? So that is where Google group is going to play an important part. Google Drive, if you want to update any of the materials on the drive, right? So you can update those material, right? So this is the documents where you can update those things, and you can have the access of these documents. Even if you want to share some documents, even students wants to work on some assignments, projects for the Viva. So students can also use this Google group. They can share their PPTs with, Word file, Excel spreadsheet at the Google Drive, and they can have sharing the rights, and they can work on same project by sitting in the different locations, right? So that is where Google Drive is also going to play an important role, right? Google Form, we all know it, because we all are doctorate almost, or if at all, many of you are doing also PhD also, where you are using Google Form as a part of floating questionnaire and getting the responses from the people, right? So this is where, while sitting at home, while sitting at your places, you can have the access of either content or the responses. And this could be possible with the effective and efficient utilization of ICT tools and teaching learning process, right? So that is what Google Groups. So Google Docs, as I already said, right? So Google Docs is also going to be the alternative of the MS Word, right? So if you want to work on online mode with the different people on the same project, so you can work out on the same file while sitting at different locations, right? So that is where Google Docs is going to play an important role for all of us, right? So Google Docs is one of the platform. Blogs, if at all, if you want to download the practical exposure of or the opinion of the people for the certain areas of the topic, so you can also refer some experts blogs, right? What is their opinion, what is their thinking, what is their, way out to see to it into different aspects. So blogs is also going to play an important role as far as the ICT tool is concerned. So students can have the practical exposures, practical demonstration, some facts and figures about any topics or content that they're looking for. So blog is one of the great platform, to have the real-time experience in a current scenario, right? So that is the basic fundamentals of looking at the blogs. Google Maps, I think it is very, very clear. SlideShare, if you are looking for some slides, so SlideShare is also going to play an important role. Important source of information for ICT. So wiki spaces, Skype, Dropbox, Facebook is one of the social media platform. Twitter, now it is converted into X. Digo, SlideShare again, Mozilla Firefox, and Google Chrome, right? So these are the search engine. If at all you are looking for any sort of information for your own life, or for the, for making any projects or submission file, so you can have the access of this kind of platforms, and you can have those, data to make it in a file format, or it is in convert them into material format. So this is where you can get those informations in through the ICT tools. Now, role of ICT tools. So role of ICT tool is ray of home in this pandemic. So if you recall, the scenario of 2019 and 20 in the COVID-19 scenario. So the education was the most affected field, and there was a challenge that how to make this education system uninterrupted while considering the dropout of the person for the 1 year. And because almost we have suffered for 5 to 6 months, where schools and colleges were completely shut down, and there was a question in the minds of government how to make it, possible. And that time, the people have started adopting this ICT tool, because before 2019, nobody was, well versed about Google Chrome, right? Um, what I can say, Zoom, right? So all these platform we have not accessed yet, but yes, COVID-19 has forced us to utilize those things, right? So if I'll remember, this would not be possible in India in this fastest manner if the COVID-19 has not forced. So this, so the COVID-19 has taught us, if we willing to do it, nothing is impossible for us. But if we hesitate to do the things, it will never be possible for us, right? So it was not possible for us in the COVID-19, and after in the COVID-19, in the normal scenario, if you don't want to do anything, is then nothing is possible for us, right? So this is two contradictory statements. It says a lot of things, right? But most importantly, we need to understand this. It was a ray of hope in the pandemic, where it becomes the integral part of teaching learning process for all the education institute and university, where the difficulty was arising from the teachers and students perspective to meet physically and to have the classroom learning. So countries over the globe were worried about this teaching learning process, and then the third generation countries has thrown this idea to have ICT tools as a part of teaching learning process and to facilitate and disseminate and communication of all the teaching learning process. So that is the benefit of effective utilization of ICT tools. It motivates students, because students don't have to come to their, to the universities and colleges, but they can sit at their places and they can have the laptop and internet connection, and they can easily connect themselves, with the teaching learning process. So it was motivating to these students. And most importantly, it makes session more attentive and interesting, where no operational difficulties are there, no interruption in between are there. You can sit on the screen and you can have the enjoyable learning with no hesitations. It re-energizes teachers' motivation, because teachers do not have to do any class administrative activities or class monitoring things. And even teachers can be more focused on the only teaching and learning, where other administrative duties was completely out. Even attendance was taken care by the Google Meet, right? Marks was taken care by various other platforms like Google Form in terms of quizzes. So administrative and physical load of the students and teachers was completely out, where the quality work can be focused, and that is where the teachers was also happy in terms of less administrative job and more concrete results in terms of all the analysis part. So that is where their energy level was re-energized. Learn new skills and techniques. ICT always forced to have new innovations, new ideas, and that is where whether it is teacher or students, they always have to learn new skills and techniques, and it helps students to understand the concept clearly. Because if at all you don't know anything, out of this session, you can always go to online and you can always find out the related content and topic, or you can also enrich your learning in terms of more reading of the concept, and that is where you can have the better clarity, right? So that is was the basic fundamentals, right? So what is ICT tools? So it was blessing in disguise from the both the parties, whether it is students or teachers. So for students perspective, it was mixed model in terms of textbooks and technology, right? It evolves as a platform for new learning, right? Where it always throw the seeds of creativity for all the people, right? It is depends upon the students how they are gardening themselves in terms of learning new things and growing, like and enjoy the foods at the later stage of their life. The more they will invest, the more they will gain it. And that's why it gives an access to students to any of the courses. Just like we have seen this, if students want to go for any MOOC courses, they can go for any platforms, whether it is Swayam, Coursera, or any other platform which they found to be more suitable. And most importantly, the course in which they want to enroll is available at the platform, right? And most importantly, these platforms are not so costly. You just need an internet connection, nothing else you need to invest, and somehow there would be some minor fees of 500,000, right? So that is a cost-friendly model, right? Where students do not have to invest much. So all those people who are staying in rural areas, and if they are facing some problems in terms of transportations, or some monetary issues, so students can stay at their places and they can have the enjoyable learning while sitting at their places. So this is what the blessing in disguise in terms of ICT tools. From teachers' perspective, it empowers them and helping them even in the time of epidemic to connect with fellow teachers virtually. So even not only teaching learning process, but all the meetings of all the corporates, all the education institute was also going to be online. And now it is the integral part of all the corporates and education institute. Even we are taking the vivas of the students online. Sometimes the DRC of the PhD scholar is also going to be online through Google Meet or Zoom. So this is, the gift of COVID-19, I can say, right? So that's why it bridges the gap between those who wants to access variety of content in different language and those who wants to learn, right? So that is where it makes teachers to be more powerful while having access of unlimited resources, right? Which was not possible in the physical classroom, right? Especially in rural context, I have already mentioned the students can save their money and they can invest somewhere else because they are saving transportation, right? And they can have the enjoyable learning. So model tools for ICT in teaching learning process. So these are the online platforms where students can enroll themselves for the MOOC courses, right? So Swayam is a Ministry of Education, Government of India approved. So there are multiple sciences, multiple fields: social science, management, commerce, physical education, fashion designing. So all in whatever area in which you are belonging, you can always go for Swayam and you can always have the enrollment for this kind of courses, right? So this is the national level platform which is approved by Government of India, and it is also approved by all the education institute as far as the API score of the faculties is concerned, right? So that is where Swayam is also going to be. Along with that, Coursera is an international platform where all the international universities across the globe have been associated with the Coursera. Prime universities like Yale universities, Chicago University. So these are these universities who have given their courses at the Coursera platform. So again, as I already mentioned, that these video sessions of the professors are already been assigned at Coursera, and during the session you should always be forced to appear for the quizzes. So the purpose of doing this is you should be attractive, and most importantly, you are listening entire videos where you are not going to miss out important things and parameters which you need to understand, right? So that is where, apart from graduate degree, if you want to expand your knowledge in multiple disciplinary approach, you can always go for the enrollment of this kind of MOOC courses. And one of the international platform is Coursera, very, very great platform. Harvard universities also have their online platforms to enroll for this kind of courses. Baidu for the primary education, where online materials was available on the paid basis, but now it is outdated in the market. I am Bangalore are also running MOOC courses on and certified courses on retail management, right? So Google was also providing digital courses, right? So Google was also certifying people who was successfully completing this particular courses based on the times and the evaluation pattern, and IIT Madras. What is the online classroom teaching tools? What you required as far as online classroom teaching learning is needs to be possible. So so Zoom is one of the platform where recordings of the session is also available. At the same time, the recording of the attendance along with the time frame, right? How much time period that particular person have joined the classes. So this kind of data can also be accessible through the Zoom platform. ClassN is another platform where we can conduct the online classes. GoToMeeting is another platform. Microsoft Teams, Google Meet, this is the common platform where we have connected right now. Schoology and Big Blue Button. So these are the various online, applications which you can always install in your mobile phone, and you can connect yourself with the online classes, right? So that is what the online classroom teaching tools as far as ICT is concerned. If you want to conduct the online quiz as a part of evaluation patterns for the students, so what are the parameters which we always look forward? So this is one of the platform which is called Google Form, right? We can conduct the quizzes through the Google Form. thinkexam.com, this is the another platform. I'm not saying that these are the only platform, but these are the some of the platform which I'm demonstrating in front of you. You can always have the access of the other parameters also. So thinkexam.com is another platform, right? FlexiQuiz, testmos.com. I have used this particular platform, very good platform. You can convert your quiz. You can have your own message before starting the quiz, end of the quiz. At the end of the quiz, you should have the evaluation of the students in terms of marks, and at the same time per subject, per question wise, the evaluation should be provided. Even students wise total grades has been provided. So this is a great platform where human efforts have been mostly saved if we are going to conduct the quiz through the MCQ basis, right? So that is what it is called, testmos.com. Proforce Quiz Maker, again, this is one more platform as far as online quiz generation and getting the results for the students is concerned. So that is Proforce Quiz. Other platform is, so government was running, say, the various platforms, various programs during the COVID-19, if you recall. That is on Doordarshan and the radio channels. There is a one program which is called Diksha, which where the English language was taught to the students. So students was learning English through this platform, which is called Diksha. ICT resources for education. So what we required as far as you want to access, if you want to take the education through online, so this is, the monitor is required. You need a projector, you need a screen, laptop, and you need a software, right? So hardware and software are the most important requirement as far as ICT teaching learning process in education is concerned. So these are the few demonstration. Now we will also see AI tools as a part of subcomponent of ICT tools. So Max AI tools, right? So if you want to utilize this Max AI tools, I'll show you the demonstration to be on the practical front, right? If you want to use Max AI tools, so how you can utilize. So if, let's say, if I want to find out RBI new regulation and guidelines, right? So this is one of the platform, right? So what you need to do is you have this kind of AI tools, which is extension, right? These are the various extension in my PC, right? So this is one extension which is called Max AI. So if you want to install, you can add Max AI Google extension, right? So it will drag you to the Max AI Google extension. You can see this. If you click over here, they will ask to add to Chrome, but I have already added. So they are asking me remove, right? But which I don't want to, because it is very, very important. So please click over here, add from Chrome, right? And the moment you add it, and then you type this RBI new guidelines. So you can see this, the Max AI tools is automatically get updated the moment I have entered it. And now you can see this Max AI has automatically got updated. And you can see this, if I click on this get AI answer. So what this Max AI will do it for me, whatever content that I'm looking for right now, that is RBI new policies and guidelines. So the most recent sources, you can see this, and more recent readable sources based on my search on this Google Chrome will be reflected over here, right? So what happens over here is I should not open each and every link over here, right, as a part of important parameter or the recent consideration of the things, right? Although if I am looking for some specific things, that is a different issue. Again, this specific thing has been mentioned on this Google Chrome as a part of searching, then again it would be reflected in Max AI. So it will drag you to the most filtering option for the content which you are looking for, and they are providing the most qualitative content on the topic which you are looking for. So this is the beauty of this Max AI tool. So yeah, now if you click over here, you can see this. I'll drag you to the RBI issues and policies update, right? So you can see this over here. So all the issues and policies for RBI, you can see this. It is just updated in April. But Max AI has directly given me the link. If you are looking for RBI policy, let's provide you the recent policy. And you can see this. It has also predicted the GDP growth for financial year 25-26. Clear? And if I want to highlight anything, right? So there is another AI tool that is called Glass Web Highlighter. Right. There is another tool which is called Glass Web Highlighter. I'm typing over here. Glass Web AI Highlighter. Right. This is another extension which you can use. If you type it over here, again, they will ask add Chrome. So just add into Chrome. And what is the benefit over here is, let's say I have searched this RBI new policies and guidelines. And through Max AI, I reach to this recent documents and most searchable documents for me. Right. If I feel that this content is very, very important, although I'm not making any documents for me right now, but if I feel this, that these two lines are very, very important out of my reading and the content which I'm looking for my project, right? So if I click over here and, if I click over here and highlight the text, right? If I want to highlight this text, so Glass AI will help you to highlight those text. And along with that, they are also asking me that if I have click on this particular line, and if I want to summarize this particular line, so they will summarize for me. Can you see this? Right. So this is again one of the important another parameter which is called sky space, right? So this is how you can utilize all these tools for you as a part of AI tools, right? Okay, just a minute. Okay. So if I want to, if I want to know that what is this two line is saying for me. So if you want to go for any advanced version, even if you want to find out some good research paper, which is Scopus Index and all this, because it is always a headache for all the, faculties, how to find out this Scopus paper. So if you want to find out this, you have to click on this Skyspace Copilot, right? Skyspace Copilot, right? So that is this search. Again, this is Chrome extension. You have to add over here. So the moment I have type over here is just like I want to highlight this particular aspect, right? So you can see this, yes. So glass highlighter was not activating till now due to internet issue, but now you can see this glass highlighter. So you can see this glass highlighter over here. So you can see this color has been highlighted. Now this particular paragraph has been highlighted for me for the lifetime. As and when I'll open this particular particular link, right, in the future, so this line will be always be highlighted. If let's say if I'm closing it, just like you can see this within India, the outlook has shown a sign of improvement, right? So this line I have highlighted, again open it from the online, this issue was there. Now if you can see this, you can see this, you can see this line we have already highlighted earlier. So now this line is already highlighted for me, right? And if you want to, if this line, if you want to publish, right, so you can publish on, or you can, if you want to create some banner for this particular things, let's say if I want to create a banner for this RBI issue update, right? And if I want to create some banners, so I can click on this, right? I can click on this double inverted comma, and now you can see this banner has been created, right? If at all I want to create entire material and I want to create some banner like this, so this banner can be created with multiple colors. The which color you want, you can click it over here, and you can, if you want to square or if you want to make a landscape, so you can make a landscape and square. So this is up to you. Even if you want to, remove italics in this words, so you can always remove. Along with the sources, the banner has been created. And if you want to, put this banner as a part of headlines, so you can always put this on the social media directly. You don't have to go to Canva or anything. It is directly created for you. You can go for with Facebook, you can go for LinkedIn, you can go for Twitter, you can go, sorry, it is now X, right? So this is how it is benefited. And even if you want to download, you can download it. So it will get downloaded over here, and you can see this, it has been converted into image. And this image, you can, even if you want to pass it on the WhatsApp or any other social media for your status or update, so you can always put it over here. You can see this. I hope it is clear, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, right. Again, for the same thing, if you want that, I want to understand this particular line. Let's say I want to understand this particular line in a more concrete way, or else I want some more advanced material, right? Or even for this particular line, if you want to save some notes for the future, you can always make some notes for this. You can see this. This particular line which I have selected is already posted. And if I want to make this notes name, so I can make the note MPC, right, as a part of my title. And this note has been created, right? MPC, my note has been created. So the name of this note is MPC. And even if I want to copy this particular things, I can, right? And even if you want reload this highlight, you can reload, and you can always have a tag. You can always give a tag to this particular. So MPC highlights, right? Monetary MPC, right? So MPC, this is the tagline which I have given. And if you want to make any personal comments, so you can always say that important headlines, right? And you can save it. Yeah, so these things will be saved for you as and when you are going to open this particular app. So this is the benefit of Glass PI. It highlights the content for you on the website, just like you are working on Word file or PDF. And it also creates some notes, just like you have it in PDF and Word. If you want to add some notes on the content, you can create, through the references or something. So this is the online references and content, highlighting those contents and create the notes for you for the lifetime, right? So this is a Glass PI. Now, if I want to understand this particular line in a more concrete manner and I want some more advanced learning, so I need to have a Skyspace Copilot. So this is the sign of Skyspace Copilot. So if you ask this, summarize, explain, so this is going to summarize and explain. Or even if you want to go for some literature review on the same line, you can see this. This is the summary which is generating over here. So this chat is, we have asked the, Skyspace Copilot that what is the meaning of this particular thing. So now they are generating the meaning of it. Take some time, but it will work for you. Okay, even you can find out literature. If you want to find out literature review, let's say if I want to find out literature review on behavioral finance, right? So I can find out literature on behavioral finance. You can see this. This is Skyspace, very, very important for all the researchers, right? This is the AI tools, right? So you can see this Skyspace is working for us. Right. So you can see this behavioral finance. So you can see this top 5 papers. Even if you want to filter it out, this top 5 papers to top 10 paper, you can, but you have to go for premium version. Right. So you can see this over here. Again, there is a filter option. You want the paper only in PDF format. You want the paper in open access, or you want top papers. Let's say somebody is saying I'm the freshers. I don't know how to do the research paper, how to write research paper. So you can have the access of all the good quality papers with complete PDF. You can see this. So this will suggest only those papers which have a PDF. Just like we are going to Google Scholar and we are opening every paper and we are checking that PDF is available or not. Sometimes only abstracts are available, right? So this kind of AI tools will work out, to find out the most related content that you are looking for. Can you see this? This PDF is available, Market Minds. You can click on this PDF and this PDF has been generated. You can see this. And this is a good quality journals like those who have DOI number, ISSN number. You can see this good quality journals, right? So you can access every paper, right? You can see this. You can see this systematic literature review has been done in this particular aspect. This is good quality journals for you. You can see this. And after doing this, even you can download this paper. And if you don't want to download this paper and if you want to save this in the library, so you can always save this in the library. Already I have saved it. Let's say if I want to save this in my library, right? So you can see this, I have my library, right? So this is where I'm putting my collection for all the works that I'm doing it. Let's say I'm from behavioral finance. So you can see this Market Minds, right? So these papers have been already been cited for me. And if I want to export all this paper, I can directly click over here and export. And in whatever format I want the references and bibliography, I can cover up, right? You can see this. So all the facilities are available irrespective of the source, format or software that you are using it, right? Let's say if I want not this PDF, I want to just look at the summary of the paper before downloading. So you can click on this. So this is a summary of the paper. So that what you are going to get this in this particular paper before opening or downloading the paper for your computer, and not to waste your, internet, or not to occupy your unnecessary spaces in your PC and laptop by making downloading. So this facility is also available that you can put on summary and they will summarize for you. And even if you want to make a chat with this author, you can chat with this option. You can send this message to them and the authors will reply if they fail to reply. Right. So this is how it is. And if you want to save this, so you can bookmark and you can save it in your, this behavioral finance folder. So you can see this. I have saved this particular paper in my folder. So the name is a preliminary investigation. So you can go to my library and you can refresh it, right? So you will see these preliminary investigation. So now it has been saved in my, library. That means it is saved in my reading material. So this is now it is a part of my library collection. And if I want this paper to be cited, references, so you can see this different references style irrespective of the journal in which you are trying to publish. You can see this APA 7th edition modern language, that is MLA. If you don't want APA, you can click on MLA. So your reference got changed in MLA. If you want to publish in Chicago, right? If you want to publish in Chicago, you can click on Chicago. Right. So this is American Psychological Association 7th edition with a DOI number. Can you see this? You can click on it and you can directly paste into Word file. You can directly paste into Word file like this. And this has been saved. I hope it is clear. Your paper has been saved and this is the DOI number of the journal. This is how your references has been done for you. Clear? Even AI writer is also available. If you want that, AI will write for you. Even paraphrasing is also available in this Skyspace. You can see this if you want to paste anything on this. So AI will work for you. AI will write for you. Start writing if you click on it. So AI will start working for you. Clear? See this, the AI is working for me here. Again, I'm not wasting my time over here, but yeah, I hope you got the idea, right? So this is how it is going to be. And paraphrase, if you want this paraphrase, so let's say this particular line needs to be paraphrased. So this is paraphraser. You can see this, or let's take one article from here. Okay, let's take this. And you can see this, it is going to be paraphrased. You can see this, this has been converted. And if you use Quillbot or any other software in free version, you have 150 words limitation. But in this Skyspace, you can see this, it has the limitation of 500, which is in the premium version of Quillbot, right? So you can see this. You can also remove the variation and you can again rephrase it, right? So this is how the beauty of this. You can see this, even if you want to increase the content length, you can click over here. So if if the sentence has been given in 83 words, you have converted them into 173 words with the own explanation. So this is the beauty of this Skyspace Copilot as a part of AI tools for teaching learning process, right? So you can always utilize it for your own purpose. Again, one more tool I wanted to show you over here. That is again the utilization of Glass AI. So whenever you are using YouTube's, right? So in YouTube's, if you are going for any videos, right, and if you are trying to understand any of the videos, right? So let's say, mm, yeah, behavioral interviews and questions. So you can see this. If I want to see this, what this particular video is, and before running this video, if I want to understand what exactly there is in this video. So again, I have already taught you one important AI tool, that was Glass PI, right? So this is where Glass PI. So Glass PI will work out for you every seconds where this particular video is, it's all about. So it will give you a complete summary. So if sometimes you are giving some assignments to the students, that you have to give summary of the video content, so this is how you can give it. And again, this video content can be remodified with the paraphrasing, and students, or even we have to submit some assignments to our boss, we can do it for every seconds. Can you see this? Every seconds the content is given, like 3 minutes and 06 seconds up to 300 minutes and 42 seconds. So this is the content which is given in this particular video, from 343 to 4 minutes and 16 seconds. So this is the content which is given in this video. Right? So this is how these AI tools will make our life and work so easy and more effectively, and most importantly, error-free work. So obviously we have to utilize, and it makes our life better and easy for us. So that's it from my side for the today's session. So I invite the question answer or any feedback you want to portray over here. So you are most welcome. Yeah.